A rational number is any number that you can write as a fraction. So one of the things that we need to know how to do is, can you identify a rational number from its decimal form? If I look at a decimal, can I tell from a decimal, would this be a rational number if I were to write it as a fraction? So a rational number, anything that can be written as a fraction, and that's because a fraction is a ratio. And in fact, the word rational has the word ratio right in it. So rational number is anything that can be written as a ratio or a fraction. And we've got two examples here of rational numbers, 1/4 and 1/3. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn 1/4 and 1/3 into decimals so we can see what does a rational number look like when it is a decimal. So let's start with 1/4. And if you forgot, the way that you turn a fraction into a decimal is just by doing division. That fraction line means divide. So 1/4 means 1 divided by 4. And so we're going to do our old school long division that you learned probably back in 3rd grade. And so we're going to say, okay, well, 1 divided by 4 can't be done. We need to add a decimal point and a 0. And so then the phrase we usually use is go into. How many times will 4 go into 10? What we're really asking is, if we did 10 divided by 4, what would we get? And the answer is 2 with a little bit left over. So then we'll do 2 times 4, which is 8. Go ahead and subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. So we haven't quite reached our remainder of 0. So what we do is we add a 0 on the end here so that we can bring that 0 down. And now our question is, what's 20 divided by 4? Or how many times does 4 go into 20? And the answer is 5, exactly 5, because 5 times 4 is 20. And so now we reach the point where our remainder is 0. And so the answer here is, if we bring the decimal up, 0.25, or if we want to be good mathematicians, 0.25. We put that leading 0 on there. And so this is one example of what a rational number looks like as a decimal. It goes 0.25 and then the decimal stops. We do not have any more digits after the 5, and this is what is known as a terminating decimal. Terminating decimal. Terminating meaning it stops. This decimal stops at 5, doesn't go any farther. That's what terminating means. So one of the ways we can identify a rational number from a decimal is if the decimal terminates. Let's take a look at our second example, which is 1/3, and we're going to solve this one the same way, which is that we're going to do 1 divided by 3. So 1 divided by 3. And just like last time, we start off with our problem that we cannot do 1 divided by 3. So we put our first decimal point and a 0. And 10 divided by 3 is 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. We subtract these. 10 minus 9 is 1. And we have not reached our remainder of 0. So we put our 0, bring it straight down. And now we've got 3 going into 10 again, which is 3. And 3 times 3 is 9, which means we get 1. And I'm feeling like we're gonna have this happen a whole bunch. I feel like no matter how many times we do this, we're gonna keep getting 10 minus 9 over and over again. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. I feel like this is going to keep happening over and over and over again. So our answer is going to be 0.33333333, and there's a couple of ways that you can write this. Sometimes we put a ellipsis there on the end that just means etc. You may have seen it written as maybe 0.3 with a line over the 3 like this. That line means the 3 keeps going on forever and ever and ever. Regardless, this is called a repeating decimal. A repeating decimal. And this is the other way you can identify a rational number from a decimal, as if it is repeating, meaning the number happens over and over and over and over again. A repeating decimal does not have to be the same number over and over and over again. So 0.33333 is a repeating decimal, but a repeating decimal could also be something like 0.121212. That would be an example of a repeating decimal. Or something like 0.367. So it doesn't have to be just a single number that repeats. It could also be a set of numbers that repeats. As long as it's got a pattern to it, it's a repeating decimal, and that is also an example of a rational number.